oftentimes we get fans, right? We get fans. Um, Fortunately, I haven't been mentioned in the last couple of videos, which is fine, which is great. But it's kind of sad that I have to keep checking because my name gets dropped so often. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of advice. I know that you think you're superior to me, right? You think that you're superior to me, so you probably won't take my advice, but I'll give you a little bit of advice. If you're going to come after this network, you need to start talking about the content of what it is they're discussing and why it's important that you're trying to discredit them. You have to come after why it's so important that, I mean, you're just dropping body shaming and you know, calling them COINTEL and stuff, but you're not saying why that's important. Like, what is the message? What are they trying to convince the public of? What are they trying to convince them of? You don't ever dive deep into that. You don't get into the analysis of what it is that they're trying to accomplish and what they're trying to move the masses to do. Instead, you're using really obscure things like tardive dyskinesia. Am I saying it right? I do have some screenshots. I just dropped them on Twitter. I actually captured those earlier today. I captured them a while ago because you've accused me of the same thing. You've accused me of the same thing when realistically I'm just aging. That's not really fair. That's not really fair. Yeah, I'm an older woman now. I'm like 47, right? So I'm like, you know, I've gone through like, I'm kind of like Oprah. I go up and down, right? I go up and down. So I've got like stretched out skin. I'm sorry. Do you want to see my pregnancy belly? You want to see how stretched out my belly is? Because it's happened down there too. That's a reality for older women. For those of us who have mothered children, not everybody has perfect elasticity in our skin. It's just not a reality. And, you know, if you gain weight and then you lose it really fast and, you know. Okay, so this tardive dyskinesia. I was calling it tardy dyskinesia because that's the way you kept pronouncing it. It's an incredibly rare condition, actually. There are only 200,000 documented cases of it in the US. It's incredibly rare. So the idea that an entire live stream network, they all have it, is really impossible. That's impossible. I'm sorry, and you're not a doctor. You're not a doctor, so I don't know why you keep coming up with this. What is more possible is that people might have nasal issues and they sleep with their mouth open, which dries out your mouth. Oh, that's the Coke jaw thing, right? That's the Coke jaw thing. I don't know. There's so many accusations here, but really a lot of what he's putting out on these smear campaigns. There's a dude like hitting a bunch of us with smear campaigns. A bunch of us. And I don't know how I got lumped in with this group, because otherwise I wouldn't have really, like, I wouldn't be doing this video right now, because, like, I don't care about anybody else that he's talking about. Like, I don't even like the people that he's talking about. I don't agree with their positions. I think they're libertarians masking themselves as progressives. And so I really don't care if he's insulting them or not, but he keeps lumping me into this bullshit too, and I have nothing to do with it. And the reality is that he keeps attacking people on, like, body shaming. So yeah, so let's address a couple of the claims. The thing that you keep citing is an incredibly rare condition. So the idea that, like, they all have it is really, really impossible. It's not possible. It is possible that a lot of people probably, I know he has commented on Coke jaw, right? Coke jaw is also not really. First of all, I'm a Gen Xer, right? Like, so, every generation has, the education that you go through in junior high, right? Like the junior high education where they tell you, like, they always focus on, like, the drug that's, like, really prevalent at the time that you're in junior high. The biggest drug that's going on at that moment. So the biggest drug that was going on when I was in junior high was Coke. So we got the most disgusting, gross videos of, you know, because this was also during the 80s, so it's like the Reagan was in office, right? So, and Nancy had her whole say no to drugs. Remember the egg commercial? This is your brain on drugs. Got all that, right? But the videos we were getting were all centered around Coke. So the people my age, specifically my age, like the people who went through junior high right around me, most of us have never touched Coke because we got so many horror films about what it could do, like the holes it could put in your nose and shit. None of us have, like, maybe the millennials and maybe the older Gen Z, because I'm on the younger side of the Gen X, the older side of the Gen X, they probably were into it because Coke was a big deal in the 80s. But for us kids that were like young, wasn't happening. We didn't. I can't say about other things I might have tried in high school, but I definitely didn't try that. I didn't try much. I mean, I did a little weed. really wasn't into that stuff. And in fact, there were several years that I didn't even casually drink. I think, you know, I tried alcohol when I was a teenager. And then somewhere around the time I think I was 18, I just decided it wasn't really that interesting. And I don't think I started casually drinking again until I started going to bars. And that was many, many years later. Many years later, because I had my son very young. So I didn't start dating again until I was like early to mid 20s. And I would just, you know, have a drink or, you know, when I'd go out to like a bar or something. But so I'm starting to suspect that this dude who's trying to smear everybody might be Mormon. Because he doesn't seem to have any like realistic basis of what is casual drinking or like casual smoke. Well, no, he says he smokes pot, so I don't know. But he also accuses everybody as being on drugs. So that's why I'm doing this right now, because like it's every day. Every day there's a smear campaign out about like tardive dyskinesia and coke jaw and oh, you have a puffy face. Oh, well, I'm 47 and I had pizza this week and I retained salt. I retain water. I have high blood pressure. I used to actually have a medication that had a water pill in it because it was such a problem for me. But I ended up losing so much weight that I don't need it anymore. You know, I shouldn't have to explain this stuff, though. We shouldn't have to explain whatever health issues are going on to avoid or to explain away the smear campaigns that you keep throwing at people. I'm not saying that you're not wrong about some of these live streamers, though. Not saying that you're not wrong about them all. They might be drug addicts. I'm not saying that they're not. But please don't lump me into that. Please don't lump me into that, because I'm just like an old, aging lady. I'm a grandma now. I'm a grandma. Come on, man. I did drop the screenshots on Twitter. I'll drop the link. My advice to you, Mr. Smear Campaign, is start talking about what they're talking about. Talk about the significance of it. Why is it so important that that you're pointing out that you believe that they're COINTELPRO? I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe they are. They might be. But I haven't seen enough evidence to indicate that they really are. Oh, and the other thing that you keep talking about is the teleprompters. I think that you're onto it when they are looking in the center of the screen. I'm just giving you like my own personal observations on this. When they look in the center of the screen, yeah, they're looking at a central monitor that has like a teleprompter. But when you are looking at the reflection in Glory Jones' eyes, she probably just has a laptop in front of her. I don't think that's not a teleprompter. That's like her on a Zoom meeting. I don't think that that's really significant. But them centralizing their eyes towards the center of the desk, that's more of an indicator that it's a teleprompter. So that's my 2 cents. I don't know why even like I have viewers on this, because there's literally only one person who really would be interested in this commentary. And yet here I have like some of my people are watching this. Literally there's only like one person who would be interested in this particular video, and it's so funny that you guys are like actually watching this one. I will drop the Twitter link to what I'm talking about, but yeah, there's a dude, he's been smearing me for a long time, and I'm a little afraid that he's working with the guy that stayed with me that was really trying to fuck me over. I just don't know. I don't know one way or the other, but they both sort of appeared into my world at the same time. You guys must be bored, dude. I got 3 viewers on a Friday night at 8. What's going on? Is everybody hiding from the Delta variant? Is that what's happening right now? Okay. Anyway, that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm getting old, you guys. I'm getting a little turkey neck. What are you gonna do? I can't afford plastic surgery. I'm, working class.